Welcome to my show. I'm a guest here. His name is Eliud Ramocan. Mr. Eliud, how are you doing, sir?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on your program.
All right. Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity, Mr. Eliud. Firstly, you are an author. You are also a resilience, and you are also a digital productivity expert. Can you please, Mr. Eliud, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mr. Eliud?
All right. Okay. Well, thanks again, Tony, for having me on your program. All right. So I am a cyber resilience expert at the central bank in Jamaica. My responsibilities span uh, two regulatory uh, perspectives, one which is a prudential and market conduct, other one is the market conduct and consumer protection perspective of cyber risks. I have been in the field of finance for about 2 decades now, spanning data, risk, and now more specifically cyber risk as it relates to the financial sector and the digital operations that underpins the runnings of the financial system in Jamaica.
That is very, very beautiful and a very lovely thing that you definitely dedicate yourself to because protecting one's asset is a very important thing that we need in our time today. And that is why I
Yeah.
would also like to dive to your lovely book, Open Sesame. Can you please, Mr. Elliot, discuss more on that book? And you also have more book, Mr. Elliot, you are planning to write in the coming future, Mr. Elliot.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So Open Sesame. That's this book here. Well, I guess it can't be seen because of the background there, but Open Sesame, How to Make Money Without Money is a financial literacy book. It's one that seeks to intrigue uh, anyone who has ever had a money life uh, issue, problem, where they have been in a no money situation, can relate to be able to better understand how to better appreciate their relationship with money and to be able to do so by taking advantage of their own situation, which may be a financial setback, and to be able to come back much stronger through a more informed understanding of how money works. And Open Sesame, as it sounds, is about opening a door. And the idea of the book is that you are the door, uh, and you don't need to be waiting on any other door of opportunity or so to get started or to get back on track. You just need to be able to open sesame yourself by applying what open means in Open Sesame. And open means opportunity, plan, enthusiasm, and network. So it's an acronym: opportunity, plan, enthusiasm, and network. And by applying those four things, you're able to now create many new avenues, new pathways to be able to succeed. And not just to succeed from a money standpoint, but to be able to succeed both in terms of money and life fulfillment, a balance. So that's what it brings. As the book says, it says open sesame, how to make money without money, which is usually, what intrigues most people when they hear the title of the book. And the premise of the book is really, if you can't make money without money, then you can't really make money with money, which is really trying to show that there are things outside of money that you need to be able to prepare yourself for to be able to make money. And so therefore it takes a value first approach where you try to build value, invest in yourself, in your skill sets, your mindsets, your skill sets, and your tool sets, and to focus on that as your greatest asset to be able to now convert that into many different forms of value you can exchange, including money itself. And this is really the first installment of a series, the Open Sesame series, which helps to delve into this whole adventure of making money without having to talk about budgeting or trying to create some big Excel sheet to figure out your assets and liabilities. And that tends to be pretty intimidating for the common person. So it really helps you to really get in tune with what will help you to build that value, that signature blend of skill sets that will help you to attain both wealth and fulfillment in the way that your strengths and your network allows you to do in a way that can support your goals and also the goals of others who will be helping you along the way.
Which definitely makes the book very, very lovely. A lot of people in this life are stuck. A lot of people in this life do not understand a very simple thing when it comes to money. Money is there, it's going to always be there, but we definitely have to have a self worth or an asset within ourselves. We have to have something that is definitely there that will be able to generate the money for us. Because every single time that we live on this earth, there are hundreds of opportunities, but we have to know what fits with us, build that. Then, when it gets to a time, we will know the time we definitely need, how we could try to make money out of what we are doing. So your book Open Sesame is a very, very great book for someone to open that sesame, as you said, to definitely open that door to see those opportunities and know how one can definitely fetch it. You know, as a person who has been into the financial institution for some years now, you've gained a lot of insight, a lot of experience regarding those areas, and you've tried your best to bring it to a book that will definitely help one to open those doors and see how they could fetch those areas that they could use to develop their life. Also, I would like to dive to the point of financial independence. I know you've definitely dived to the point of investing in yourself, and you are the best version or you are the best asset that you could definitely invest into. But in your own experience, Mr. Eliud, how do you think you can define financial independence, Mr. Eliud?
All right. Well, financial independence is defined in the book as your ability to make money without money. So without money, and thereby learning, in learning what that means, you're able to develop that ability to make money without money. By pursuing, you're able to plan in a way that will help you to be financially stable. And then, of course, to be able to grow in a way that allows others to be able to have their own financial independence as well. So, financial independence for some persons is just to make a lot of money, right? But we we can think about many cases where, say, someone wins a lotto and they win millions of dollars, and then weeks after, months after, they're even worse off than they were because they didn't have the skill sets, the understanding of how money works. They didn't address their poor money habits that would have allowed the money that they once had to escape them without being able to build on that, to be able to earn more money and to be able to, of course, have something that is lasting that will allow them to be truly financial independent. So it's financial independence is more than just money. It first starts off with a mindset, what the book talks about, an open mindset, an opportunity, the plan, your enthusiasm, and building out your network to be able to earn money and to be able to grow that in a way that allows you to be sustainable. And this includes being able to maximize on the opportunities for active income streams, passive income streams, and massive income streams, where we look at financial independence in the form of a waffle, right? Where the pockets of the waffle really represent different pockets of income streams that you can build that pay you at different intervals. Some may be monthly, weekly, quarterly, yearly, but there's always something coming in different ways to be able to address different financial hurdles, obligations, and to be able to achieve your dreams. So that's the kind of thinking I'd like uh, your viewers to appreciate when it comes onto financial independence. It's more than making money. It's developing the ability to make money without money, to prepare yourself so that once you have money, money won't embarrass you And part of that financial independence is to understand yourself better. You need to know thyself before more money embarrasses you, and to be able to go along that journey to better able utilize your time, your energy, the things you already have, and the people you have access to be able to now create this new dimension in how you grow money, which is to be able to make money by first building value that money will actually come be attracted to, because it's ideas that matter first. By creating the right idea, money will follow, right? Money chases ideas, not the other way around. And that is really the spark towards a journey of financial independence. Financial independence where you are owning assets, you're building assets, assets that you create yourself, or that through different kinds of opportunities, you're able to build through various ventures and maximize that through your network.
That is a very beautiful insight, Mr. Heliod. And that is the beauty about money. Money is getting attracted to something that is what its attraction. And that is why we definitely need to know ourselves. And that is the most important thing. Firstly, we have to know ourselves. And that is why I usually, believe that if we do not understand how we could definitely use what we have currently to attract money for us, then if we have that money, then we might not be able to use it in the way we should have used it. And that is why I love the point of embarrassment, because some people have really made a lot of huge wealth. There was a story
Yes.
I heard. Two persons live a life. The first person, they give them two each the same money. The first person lavished the money. The other person
Mm.
thought, understood himself, and live a life of productivity. In the next 10
Yeah.
years, the other one was pleading, begging money up and down, and the other one is super rich. That is the
All right.
beauty. We have to definitely understand ourselves, know how we can create a asset that money is going to be attracted to, then we develop it from there. It is very important. But there is one
Right.
thing in our time today, Mr. Elliot:
Mm.
societal pressure. During the 1980s, 1990s, there is nothing like social media. There is nothing like people showing their status, showing what they have, or stuff like that. But during
Yes.
our time today, there's something called societal pressures, Mr. Elliot. So, how do
Hmm.
you think societal pressure comparison and also status choosing lead people to financial decisions that don't align with their values, Mr. Elliot?
Yes. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's the thief of your wealth as well. Um, you know, Actually, one of the key financial skills anyone can have is not to have the urge and desire uh, to to want to be like someone else, or to have the things that other people have, or to want to be like someone else, right? Just having that skill to just pause and reflect on your own, on what you have, rather than focusing on what other people have and what you don't have, which is really a mindset of lack. When you have a mindset of lack, you are continually going to be comparing with someone else that you think is better off than you are. And we've often you have often heard expression, the grass is green on the other side. Um, and that's generally how many of us really think about our life and what other people are living, what other people are doing. They're on the greener side, the better side. But one thing that we need to also, if we're going to be comparing, and we can't stop comparing and need to compare something, rather than comparing the greenery of the grass, why not compare the soil? The soil is not easily seen when your neighbors have a lovely lawn. But if you really look at the soil, your soil and their soil basically look pretty much the same. But probably their soil, is properly maintained and nurtured and that sort of thing. And therefore, what you need to focus on is the the quality of the soil that you are growing your life from. And a perspective that I would love your listeners to think about is, how do we grow? Rather than think about how we compare the growth of my growth versus someone else's growth, just think about what growth is and how do we truly grow. And if you think about a seed, for example, a seed grows in two directions. It grows up and it grows down. It grows down in the ground, that's the roots, and it grows up above the ground, and then it will be able to bear fruits, right? So you have the root system, which goes down, and you have the fruit system that goes up. Now, I did this experiment with a few kids. I gave them pieces of paper, a bigger paper, like a cartridge, what we call cartridge paper, a big poster kind of paper. And I asked them to draw a tree. And all of them drew wonderful trees. But what they drew was just the top part of the tree. No one drew the roots. Because when we're comparing my life versus your life, we're comparing the top part, what is seen. But no one really compares roots, really. But roots is where we need to focus on. If we focus on growing our roots, then the fruits will come thereafter. And there's two terms for what I've just described. One is called gravitropic growth, which is growing down towards gravity in the dirt. And then there is phototropic growth, where you're growing towards the sun, like photosynthesis. So when we are thinking about our own life and where we are in life, rather than comparing the other person's tree versus what you don't have, maybe you don't have anything above ground as yet. You need to focus on growing deep. And this book, Open Sesame, is really about growing roots of resilience, so that by the time you're able to grow the fruits, to grow up above ground, right? No matter what the storm is, you're able to hold firm because you have the roots for that. And interestingly, I have a tree, which is the tallest tree in my garden, or had. Let me put it that way. Last year there was a hurricane in the Caribbean called Beryl, and it had strong winds and everything, and it knocked down that tree. I mean, all other trees stood very firm, but that one, which was the tallest one, it got knocked down. And it was the most beautiful, iconic kind of uh, cone cylinder, a slim cone type of tree, triangle cone kind of tree, a pine tree. But what happened is that the roots were so shallow that when the winds came, it just toppled over. Because it so happened that the air that was grown in, the it was cemented off and there's a soil on top. So there wasn't much space for the roots to grow deep. So what I'd say to any person, young or old, you're comparing, you may have gone to a recent reunion or met up with some friends from high school or from, earlier time in your life, and they're better off than you. And both of you really started in the same kind of situation. And now you feel that, well, they're making more money than me. They have this nice car. I don't. They have nice kids and nice family. I don't. And, you feel lack. You feel like, you know, you you have failed. Stop focusing on what is above the ground. Focus on the roots. I mean, they may have a nice tree above ground, but their roots, when the tough gets going, right? When hard times come, are they able to withstand that? So you need to focus on ensuring that you're growing the fruit, they're growing the roots, and then the fruits will come after, because the health of the fruits is directly related to the health of the roots. So once we focus on that, we will be able to grow to the highest heights and we won't have any problems. We all grow at different rates. We all grow different types of fruits. We're all different kinds of trees. But one thing, no matter what the tree is, we need to have good roots to be able to flourish.
And that's also speak that we are all different. We all definitely have a different idea. We all definitely know our strengths and our weakness. And that is
Right.
the beauty of this life that we are into. A person who is right far away, we do know that social media is a very good tool that really does a lot of things like that, but we definitely need to focus on ourselves, which is the roots. I think when the root
Right.
is there, then those trees, everything just start to emerge and grow. I think we should not try our best to look at what is on top because we have not
Mhm.
fixed what is in us. If we can fix what is in us, then we can definitely build on that. On that, it takes time. Great things take time.
That's
So
right.
it definitely take time. It could take years, but with time, the development starts to come, and that is how we could definitely live a fulfilled, happier life. If we definitely want to try to compare ourselves with those on top or stuff like that, it will definitely not work because they definitely have their strength, they definitely have their weakness, they definitely know how they do their thing. But we definitely know what works for us, and that is for us to have the roots. Then we grow from there. So I
Right.
sincerely, sincerely appreciate you, Mr. Eliud, for that insight.
In the book, it speaks about the 10 sesame seeds. No, I mean, not seeds, seeds, but C's. So there are 10 C's, like ABC, 10 C's. And these seeds are the things that are needed for you to grow resilient roots. And the 10 C's from the book is first one is contentment, then conserve, care, creative, cultivate, control, consult, cooperate, consistent, and number 10 in the 10 Sesame Seeds is character. So when we're talking about making money without money, we're saying make money with something else. And that is with the 10 C's. Uh, First one, contentment, really allows you to really appreciate what you have rather than focusing on what others have. Because you already have a lot to have enough. And if even if you don't have anything directly in your hand, the people around you, the skill sets within you, you can leverage that to be able to create value, and money will follow from that. And as a central banker, someone who's in the financial industry, one thing about the central bank is that one of the unique characteristics is its ability to make money without money, right? So the central bank, as you know, issues the national currency, whatever the country is. And in my reflections as a central banker, I have recognized that this ability to make money without money is important for for the independence of a central bank, and is equally important for your independence as a person, right? So there's a connection between central bank independence and personal financial independence. And I brought here a prop, maybe a little bit hard to see, right? All right. You may be wondering what this is. So what this is to me is actually shredded money. So at the central bank, we issue money, but we also, when we receive back money, especially money that has been gone through wear and tear and is dirty or torn or whatever it is, we shred it. So interestingly, the same financial institution that creates money shreds its own money. So the question we have to ask is, what are we really after? Are we really after money? Are we really chasing money for what? When the very institution that creates money is sitting on a lot of money, if you want to say, right? I mean, we'll just tear it apart, shred it the next day. So the value cannot be in the dollar itself, in the dollar bill itself. And I'm not going to go into the terms like fiat currency, which means that the dollar itself doesn't have value, intrinsic value itself. Gold has intrinsic value. The paper itself doesn't have much value, at least not the value that is written on it. But what really gives value to that paper, that dollar bill, is the signature that is on it, the authorized issuer, the signature of it. So in the book, we speak about your signature value. And your signature value boils down to that last C, which I spoke about, which is your character. So it's all about building that unique signature value that you already have within yourself that you just need to be able to express. You need to be able to create a system around, a symbol around, and to be able to do so in such a way that speaks volumes of value that is as good as money. If you ever thought about it, Timmy, you can buy a basketball for $5, right? $5 US, for example. That same basketball, if Michael Jordan, LeBron James, have signs on it, do you think that basketball is still worth $5? No, that could be worth $5,000. I mean, $50,000 because of that signature. So that's why the series, the Open Sesame series, is called the Signature Collection. And this first book is really your signature start towards leading with value, and money will follow after.
Mr. Eliud, I honestly want to sincerely thank you for this insight. Money has its own understanding. And honestly speaking, for you to say institution that creates its own money, even shrinking its own money, says a lot about money. And which shows that this is just the signature. And who is the signature? The one, as you said, we the people are the signature that we can definitely be able to use this money well and also use it to generate more prosperity for us. And that is just the beauty of money. If we definitely understand how it works, I think we'll not really see it as something that is more valuable. I think the value we want to look for is ourselves. Every
That's
single
right.
person, the first thing they want to focus on, I want to make money. That is not the main thing. The main thing is I want to develop myself. Then when I get
That's
to a
right.
state, then I want to see how I will be able to make money with what I have built. I think that's
That's
the most important thing. And I honestly, Mr. Eliud, this is a very, very important thing people need to know. And I thank you for that, Mr. Eliud. Mr. Eliud,
yes,
you said every single thing that is definitely needed on open system. And I honestly, even as you send it to me, it's a very, very beautiful book that really teaches every single step that one needs to know when it comes to financial independence and how one can live a more fulfilled life with money, because we don't want to have money tomorrow and see it and just disappear. We want to have money that will definitely be like an asset that continues to come and grow us from the roots to the top. So thank you so much, Mr. Eliud. There is a
yes.
question I normally ask during the end of the show, Mr. Eliud. From
Mhm.
our forefathers, from our ancestors, there are a lot of beautiful things that do exist during our ancestral time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mr. Eliud, what do you think that thing would be, Mr. Eliud?
I would say bringing back this our identity as a root of our value, right? I think that is most important. Talking about ancestors, I mean, in Jamaica, we have a national hero, Marcus Garvey, right? And Marcus Garvey would have been a Pan-Africanist who would have really, really restored and advocated the value of the Black man, right? And in many of his quotes, one of them he says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. And uh, what I've recognized, is that money can be a shackle, right? Especially if that's your sole pursuit. And therefore, we have to be able to think above that and recognize that the true value is within ourselves. So in the book, it's summarized as saying, you are the value you seek in money. So once we're able to recognize that we are the only one that has intrinsic value, then we can live a life that is more than fulfilled. We'll be able to do more, we'll be able to create more, we'll be able to earn more, and more than anything else, we'll be able to become more because we recognize that value comes from within ourselves. And the book emphasizes that by speaking about us being rich in resourcefulness, we can be rich in resourcefulness because the greatest resource is resourcefulness.
Hmm. Honestly speaking, Mr. Elliot, I just normally wish that all these little things when I was in school, I was definitely, taught all these things. But honestly speaking, we weren't taught. And that is why the beauty of what you are doing here is very important. And that is why I'm so much impressed that you've tried to bring this experience to the book, which is Open System, because it is a very, very important thing we need to know. A lot of people just feel like money is just there. We just need to make it and just lavish it. I think money comes from a term called the asset, and we are the ones that have to develop that asset. If we could develop
Yes.
the asset, then we'll definitely see how very, very attracted money will come to us. It will be very attractive to us because it sees that asset. Money only works with the signature, which is the asset, and that is the beauty of it. And it is a very, very beautiful insight, and it is something that definitely will hope that is definitely comes around. People understand this, so that people will definitely understand better how it definitely work and how we can be more productive in the life we find ourselves. Developments will
Mhm.
continue to come in, and it's come through us. It comes through the signature. A company come in, the company is the signature, and that is how the money comes in, and that is how the money comes in, and that is the beauty of money. We have to
Mhm.
definitely have the assets. It's very important. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for the insight, and I also honestly want to sincerely thank you for the time, for the opportunity, for this beautiful insight you brought to the listeners. Thank you so much, Mr. Eliud.
Yes. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you for having me on your program.
All right, Mr. Elliott. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Elliott. Bye bye.